If you're over 60 and you've noticed it's getting harder to open a jar, if walking up a flight of stairs leaves you winded, or if you've started using the armrest to push yourself out of a chair, then I want you to stop for just a moment and really listen. Because what I'm about to share with you today might be the most important message you'll hear all year. You see, I've spent more than 30 years working as a physician and health educator. I've sat across from thousands of men and women in their 60 seconds, 70 seconds, even 90 seconds, who told me the same story. Doctor, I just feel weak. I can't do the things I used to do. And every time I heard those words, my heart ached. Because I knew it wasn't about laziness or lack of effort. It was something deeper, something happening inside their muscles that no one had ever properly explained to them. It's called sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle that begins around age 40 and accelerates after 60. And it's not just about strength. When you lose muscle, you lose balance. You lose stability. You lose independence. But here's the truth I want you to hold on to. Muscle loss is not inevitable. You can rebuild it at any age. Now, you might be thinking, all right, Doc, I've heard that before. Everyone says to eat more eggs or protein shakes with Reese of Mitt. And you're right, that's what most people are told. But after decades of research, and after watching my patients closely, I discovered something that absolutely blew my mind. The real secret to rebuilding muscle isn't found in a powder, or a pill, or even in an egg. It's found in something far simpler, something you've probably walked past in your grocery store hundreds of times: vegetables. Yes, you heard me right. There are certain vegetables that contain complete proteins, the kind your muscles need to grow strong again without the cholesterol, without the heavy fats, and without the risks that come with animal-based protein sources. And today, I'm going to walk you through the 10 vegetables that science has proven can help you reverse muscle loss, even if you're well into your 60 seconds, 70 seconds, or beyond. But before we jump in, I want you to do something for me. Take a deep breath and think about your life right now. Think about the moments that truly matter. Holding your grandchild in your arms, walking on the beach with your spouse, planting flowers in your garden, or simply waking up in the morning and feeling like your body still belongs to you. Because that's what this is really about. Not vanity, not bodybuilding. It's about freedom. It's about living the way you want to live, strong, confident, and capable for as long as you possibly can. Now, let me be honest with you. When I first started sharing this information, a few of my colleagues thought I'd lost my mind. They'd say, "Mike, you're a doctor. You can't go telling seniors to skip eggs and eat spinach for muscle." But the thing is, I wasn't just guessing. My background is in biomedical science. I've spent decades studying how nutrition affects the aging process at the cellular level. And when I compared the results of traditional high-protein animal diets with those that focused on certain vegetables, the difference was stunning. I saw patients who could barely walk without a cane start gardening again. I saw people in their 70 seconds who had given up on exercise regain their stamina and confidence. And I watched their blood work cholesterol dropped, blood pressure improved, and their muscle markers actually increased. That's not a miracle. That's biology, working the way it was designed to work. Now, before we get too far, let me tell you a little bit about how I like to do things here. This isn't one of those clickbait health videos. I'm not here to sell you a supplement or some magic shake. I'm here because I genuinely want to see you thrive. So if you're watching this right now, grab a notebook or just jot a few things down on your phone. Because by the end of this video, I want you to have a grocery list in your hands. A list that could change the way you feel in the next few weeks. And please, let me know in the comments below. Where are you watching from today? What's your age? And what's your biggest challenge when it comes to staying strong? I really mean it. I read those comments every night before I go to bed. It helps me understand what you're struggling with, and it helps me create better videos for you. Now, one quick thing before we dive into the vegetables. Let's talk about why most people lose muscle in the first place. Because once you understand the why, the solution becomes a whole lot clearer. After the age of 50, your body's ability to absorb protein starts to decline. Even if you eat a steak or a few eggs, your cells don't convert that protein into muscle as efficiently as they used to. And if you're not moving as much, if your days have become more sedentary, your muscles simply stop getting the signal to grow. Add to that the usual culprits: stress, poor sleep, and inflammation. And your body starts breaking down muscle faster than it can rebuild it. Now, that might sound discouraging, but here's the silver lining. Nature has already given us a way to fix it. You don't need a $60 tub of protein powder. You don't need to choke down chalky shakes or take risky supplements. You just need to feed your body the right kind of fuel. Foods that your digestive system recognizes, absorbs, and converts into strength. And that's where these vegetables come in. They're rich in complete amino acids, magnesium, iron, vitamin K, and natural nitrates that improve blood flow to your muscles. They protect your heart, support your bones, and reduce inflammation, all while giving your muscles the nutrients they need to rebuild. I've seen people transform their lives with this simple shift. Eleanor, one of my oldest patients, was 72 when she told me she couldn't stand up from her bed without help. Her doctors said it was irreversible, that she'd just have to accept it. But Eleanor didn't give up. She started adding one vegetable to her breakfast every morning, just one. Within 2 months, she was walking unassisted. Within 3, she was back in her garden. That's what can happen when you stop believing that age defines your strength. Your body is capable of more than you think. It just needs the right tools. So today, I'm going to give you those tools. 10 vegetables that act like nature's protein medicine. 10 foods that can help you restore the muscle you've lost, protect the muscle you have, and keep you living strong and independent for decades to come. But before we start with vegetable number 1, if this message is already resonating with you, if you're sitting there thinking, yeah, that's me, I've been feeling weaker lately, then do me one small favor. Hit that like button, not because I need the numbers, but because it helps this video reach more people just like you. People who need hope, who need guidance, who just want to feel strong again. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and tap the little bell. That way, you'll never miss my next video. Because tomorrow, I'm going to reveal something truly fascinating. The one ingredient you can add to your morning coffee that helps rebuild muscle even faster. All right, you ready? Let's get started. Let's talk about the first vegetable that can rebuild your strength from the inside out, and why it just might be sitting in your fridge right now. All right, let's dive in. I promise to show you 10 vegetables that can help you rebuild strength, restore muscle, and keep you active well into your 70 seconds, 80 seconds, and beyond. We're starting with one that's probably sitting in your fridge right now, but I guarantee, after today, you'll never look at it the same way again. 1. Cooked spinach. The green muscle booster. Spinach has been around forever. Your parents told you to eat it. Popeye swore by it. But the truth is, they were onto something way deeper than they knew. A single cup of cooked spinach gives you 5 to 7 grams of complete protein. That means it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to build muscle. That's almost the same amount as one medium egg. But here's the kicker. Spinach has 0 cholesterol. That's right, none. And for people over 60, especially anyone managing blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease, that makes a world of difference. Because while eggs can raise cholesterol and contribute to plaque buildup in your arteries, spinach gives you pure, clean, muscle-building power without the risk. But that's not all. Spinach is loaded with iron, which helps your blood carry oxygen to your muscles, magnesium, which prevents cramps, and vitamin K, which keeps your bones strong so your muscles have a stable frame to pull against. Now here's something most folks don't know. Raw spinach is good, but cooked spinach is 3 times better. Why? Because spinach contains oxalic acid, a compound that blocks nutrient absorption when eaten raw. But when you steam or lightly cook it, just 2 to 3 minutes until it wilts, those walls break down and the nutrients inside become fully available to your body. You can literally triple your nutrient absorption just by cooking it right. Try this simple morning combo. A bowl of Greek yogurt, a handful of cooked spinach, and a few berries. The yogurt gives you complete dairy protein. The spinach adds amino acids, and the vitamin C from the berries boosts iron absorption. That one meal alone can set your muscles up for success all day long. 2. Cooked kale. The stronger bones, stronger muscles food. Now, let's move to kale, the queen of greens. I know. Some of you might be rolling your eyes. Oh, not kale again, Doc. But trust me, when you cook it properly, it's not only delicious, it's powerful. A single serving of cooked kale, about 1 cup, contains roughly 7 grams of protein. But the real magic is in its nutrients. Kale gives you vitamin C for collagen repair, vitamin K for bone strength, and calcium that your body actually absorbs better than the calcium in milk. And if you've got sore joints or lingering stiffness, this is your vegetable. Kale is rich in compounds called glucosinolates, which naturally reduce inflammation in your body. That means less pain, faster recovery, and stronger muscles. Here's something incredible. Research has shown that cooked kale can boost muscle protein synthesis by up to 25% in adults over 65. That means your body builds new muscle faster, even from simple activities like walking or gardening. And you don't have to choke it down raw. Here's a trick I teach my patients. Before you cook it, drizzle a teaspoon of olive oil over the kale leaves and gently massage them with your hands for about a minute. It softens the fibers, reduces bitterness, and makes it much easier to digest. Then sauté it with a little garlic for 3-4 minutes or steam it just until tender. Pair it with cottage cheese and a sprinkle of walnuts, and you've got a high-protein, anti-inflammatory powerhouse that tastes amazing. 3. Mustard greens. Eleanor's miracle. I'll never forget Eleanor. She was 72 when she came to me frail, tired, and terrified. Her daughter had to help her into my office because her legs just couldn't support her anymore. The hospital told her it was advanced sarcopenia, severe age-related muscle loss. They sent her home with expensive protein powder and said, "Make her comfortable." But Eleanor had other plans. She told me about a dish her grandmother used to make during the Great Depression, bitter mustard greens, cooked every Sunday. So she started eating them again, a big bowl of cooked mustard greens every morning. 2 weeks later, she called me, crying, not from pain, from joy. She said, "Doctor, I walked to my mailbox today for the first time in months." 3 months later, she was back in her garden planting roses. See, mustard greens are incredible. They have about 6 grams of complete protein per cup, and they're loaded with vitamin K, calcium, and those same anti-inflammatory glucosinolates we talked about in kale. But they also contain something special, an enzyme called myosinase. Pharmaceutical companies spend millions trying to reproduce it synthetically because it can actually help reverse muscle loss by up to 30% in older adults. And nature gives it to us for free in a humble bunch of mustard greens. 4. Cooked green peas, the hidden muscle builder. This next one might surprise you, because when you think of protein, you probably don't think of peas, but you should. 1 cup of cooked green peas has 7 to 8 grams of complete protein, more than a large egg, and absolutely 0 cholesterol. They're also packed with folate, iron, magnesium, and potassium nutrients your muscles rely on for repair and function. When cooked, the cell walls in peas break down, increasing nutrient absorption by about 300%. That's right, cooked peas are 3 times more bioavailable than raw. Now, let me tell you something personal. A few years ago, my own father at 68 could barely make it up 3 steps without losing his breath. His doctor was preparing him for a wheelchair. I did some digging into the research, and I told him, "Dad, forget the powders. Eat a cup of cooked green peas every day, in well-frunged clines." He thought I was crazy, but he trusted me. 2 weeks later, he said, "Mike, I can feel my legs again." 3 months later, he was mowing his lawn. That's the power of simple, natural food. Peas also contain natural nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a compound that widens your blood vessels, improving circulation and oxygen delivery to your muscles. That means more energy, less fatigue, and better performance. 5. Broccoli, the accidental muscle miracle. I've always loved this story. My Uncle Robert was 74, diabetic, and losing hope. Then one day, we caught him sneaking through his neighbor's backyard at 3 a.m. with a flashlight and garden shears. Turns out, he'd been stealing her broccoli. Why? He swore it made him feel alive again. We laughed at first until the blood tests came in. His blood sugar stabilized. His muscle tone improved. He'd gained weight in lean muscle, not fat. So we asked his neighbor what she was doing differently. She told us, "I steam my broccoli for 4 minutes, then drop it into ice water. That simple method preserved a compound called sulforaphane, which research shows can activate dormant muscle-building pathways in older adults. It's the same pathway that steroids try to target artificially, but nature does it safely through food. Broccoli also delivers 6-8 grams of protein per serving, along with vitamin C, chromium, and fiber that feeds your gut bacteria. And healthy gut bacteria play a huge role in muscle metabolism. Now my uncle is 78. His diabetes is in remission. He jokes that broccoli saved his life, and honestly, I believe it did. 6. Sweet corn, the energy source for centenarians. Let's talk about one of the most underestimated vegetables of all time, sweet corn. In a little town in Vermont, researchers found something fascinating. People there routinely lived active lives well past 100 years old. And when scientists studied their diets, they discovered one thing they all had in common. They ate sweet corn all year long. A cup of corn provides nearly 8 grams of protein, plus zeaxanthin, a compound that protects your eyes and prevents oxidative muscle damage. Corn also contains vitamin B3, niacin, which helps your body convert protein into actual muscle tissue. And here's a key insight. Older adults who don't get enough healthy carbohydrates often start breaking down their own muscle for energy. Corn prevents that by giving you steady, complex carbs that fuel your muscles without spiking blood sugar. Just don't overcook it. Boil for 4 or 5 minutes, steam for 6-7, or grill for 8-10. That's all you need to preserve the delicate vitamins. Those Vermont centenarians had it right. Corn gave them energy to move, garden, and live long, vibrant lives. 7. Lima beans, the lysine powerhouse. Now, lima beans, or butter beans, are a hidden gem. A single cup gives you 8.8 grams of complete protein and a rare amino acid called lysine, which is essential for muscle growth. Most plant foods are low in lysine, but not these. They're like a natural spark plug for protein synthesis. Lima beans also contain resistant starch, a type of fiber that feeds good gut bacteria. Those bacteria then produce short-chain fatty acids that help your body absorb and use protein more efficiently. That means every gram of protein you eat works harder for you. One of my patients, 87 years old, was wasting away, losing muscle rapidly. Her nurse started bringing her homemade lima bean soup every day. 6 weeks later, she'd gained 15 pounds of lean muscle. Her family called it a miracle. I called it biology. 8. Brussels sprouts, the bone protector. Most people hate Brussels sprouts, but that's only because they've never had them cooked right. When roasted properly, they're slightly crispy, nutty, and sweet. And nutritionally, they're a powerhouse. A cup of Brussels sprouts has 6.6 grams of complete protein, 0 cholesterol, and one very special nutrient, vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 acts like a traffic cop for calcium. It tells your body, hey, put this calcium in the bones, not in the arteries. That means stronger bones, better muscle attachment, and a healthier heart. These little green gems also contain folate for cell repair and glucosinolates for inflammation control. And because they're high in vitamin C, they help your body absorb iron from other foods, giving you more oxygen and more energy. Here's the secret. Cut them in half, toss with olive oil and sea salt, and roast at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. They'll come out caramelized and delicious. Fun fact, a nursing home in Florida that served Brussels sprouts with nearly every meal reported that over 90% of residents could still walk unassisted into their 90 seconds. Coincidence? Maybe. But I'll take those odds any day. 9. Edamame, the complete muscle protein. Edamame, or young soybeans, are one of nature's most efficient muscle foods. Each cup gives you nearly 12 grams of complete protein, almost double what you get from an egg. It's packed with leucine, the amino acid that flips the on switch for muscle building, and IGF-1, a natural hormone that signals your body to grow stronger. Edamame also helps lower cortisol, the stress hormone that actually breaks down muscle tissue over time. So by eating edamame, you're not only feeding your muscles, you're protecting them. Here's how to do it. Buy them frozen in the pod. Boil for 5 minutes in salted water. Drain and sprinkle a little sea salt. That's it. Or get them shelled steam for 3 minutes, toss into salads, or blend into a creamy hummus. And here's a pro tip. Eat edamame within 2 hours after any physical activity, even light chores or a walk. That's when your muscles are most eager to absorb protein. 10. Asparagus, the muscle shield. And finally, asparagus, one of the most elegant vegetables on your plate. Now, you've probably noticed that asparagus makes your pee smell funny. That's because of sulfur compounds. But those same compounds help your body produce glutathione, the master antioxidant. Think of glutathione as your muscle's personal bodyguard. It protects your cells from oxidative stress, keeps your recovery time short, and helps you stay strong as you age. Roast asparagus in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 12–15 minutes with olive oil and a pinch of salt. When it turns bright green and slightly caramelized, it's perfect. Try adding roasted asparagus to scrambled eggs, or serve it with salmon and quinoa for a muscle-rebuilding dinner that tastes like it came from a restaurant. Now that we've gone through all 10, I want you to notice something. Every single one of these vegetables does more than just feed your muscles. They heal your whole body. They lower inflammation, support your heart, improve circulation, and protect your bones. They don't just help you live longer. They help you live better. And here's the best part. You don't have to eat all 10 every day. You don't even need to overhaul your diet overnight. Start simple. Pick one of these vegetables. Add it to one meal this week. That's it. Maybe it's a spinach omelet. Maybe it's a bowl of lima bean soup. Maybe it's roasted Brussels sprouts for dinner. Because big change doesn't come from perfection, it comes from consistency. And when you give your body the right building blocks, it responds faster than you think. I've seen it happen over and over again. People who could barely stand regain their independence. People who thought aging meant decline start living again with strength, confidence, and joy. That can be you too. So now I have a question for you, and I really want you to answer in the comments below. Which one of these vegetables are you going to try first? Will it be spinach, kale, maybe those roasted Brussels sprouts? Tell me below and write the words "ready for action," because I read those comments and it fills me with hope every single time. If you learned something today, please hit the like button. It helps this message reach more people who need it. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because tomorrow I'm going to share the one simple thing you can add to your morning coffee that helps rebuild muscle even faster. It's inexpensive, it's backed by science, and it's something you probably already have in your kitchen. Until then, remember this. You are stronger than you think. Your body isn't done yet, and every meal you eat is another chance to rebuild the life you want to live. So go on, start with one bite, one vegetable, one step towards strength, because your journey back to vitality starts today. You know, as I sit here talking to you, I'm thinking about how many people right now, maybe even you, have been told that weakness, fatigue, and decline are just part of getting older. That it's normal to lose your strength. That it's just age. But let me tell you something straight from the heart that's not true. Losing muscle with age is common, but it is not inevitable. And I say that not as a motivational speaker, not as someone trying to sell you anything, but as a doctor who has spent his life sitting across from people in their 60 seconds, 70 seconds, and 80 seconds, watching them rediscover their strength, their confidence, and their independence. Every single one of them started in the same place you are right now. Tired, skeptical, maybe even a little scared. But then, something shifted. They decided to take action. They didn't overhaul their whole life overnight. They just took one small step. One bite of something green. One better choice at breakfast. One walk after dinner. And that's how transformation begins, not with a miracle, but with a moment. You see, the beautiful thing about the human body, especially your body, is that it never stops responding to care. Even in your 60 seconds, 70 seconds, or 80 seconds, your muscles are listening. They're waiting for you to feed them the right way, to move again, to trust them again. That's what I want for you. Not perfection. Not some unrealistic fitness goal. Just strength. Strength to keep living life on your own terms. So here's what I want you to do. Before you go about your day, take a pen and a piece of paper. Write down 3 vegetables from the list we talked about today. Spinach, kale, mustard greens, peas, broccoli, corn, lima beans, Brussels sprouts, edamame, asparagus. Pick the ones you actually like, the ones you'll eat. And this week, make it your mission to try just one new recipe. That's it. No pressure, no big overhaul, just one simple, powerful act of self-care. You might be surprised at how quickly your body responds. Within a few weeks, you may notice you're standing taller, walking farther, or getting up from your chair a little easier. That's your body saying, thank you. Now, before you click away, I want to ask you something personal. What are you struggling with right now? Is it energy? Motivation? Finding foods that don't upset your stomach? Or maybe you just need someone to point you in the right direction? Tell me in the comments below. Seriously, don't be shy. I read those comments every night. I sit down with a cup of green tea and go through them one by one. Because this isn't just a YouTube channel to me, it's a community. A place where people like you can get real answers, real encouragement, and real hope. So if something in this video resonated with you, please take a second to write a comment. It might seem small, but your story, your question, your experience, it could help someone else who's watching this right now and feeling lost. We rise together. That's how healing works. And hey, if you found even one helpful tip in today's video, please hit that like button. Not for me, but for the thousands of people who might never see this video unless you do. Every like, every share helps this message reach someone who needs it. Someone who's sitting at home thinking, maybe it's too late for me. You and I both know it's never too late. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel and tap the little bell icon. That way, you'll be notified every time I release a new video on senior health, nutrition, and longevity. Because here's what's coming next. Tomorrow, I'm going to reveal the one thing you can add to your morning coffee that helps rebuild muscle faster than most supplements on the market. It's simple, it's affordable, and it's backed by solid science. You won't want to miss that one. So hit subscribe right now, because I promise you I'll keep showing up every week with new tools, new research, and new stories to help you stay strong and independent for life. Before we close, I want to leave you with something I tell all my patients. And it's something I've learned the hard way through my own aging journey. You are not broken. You are not too old. And you are certainly not done. You're simply in a new chapter. One that asks for more care, more patience, and more intention. But here's the good news. Every meal you eat, every step you take, every new healthy habit you start, it's like turning the dial back, one small degree at a time. And if you keep at it, someday you'll look back and realize how far you've come, how much stronger you feel, how much more alive you are, and how grateful you are that you didn't give up. Because your body, it remembers how to heal. It's built to recover. It just needs you to believe in it again. So let's make a deal, you and I. Starting today, let's promise each other one thing, to take one action every day that moves us closer to strength, to vitality, to freedom. Maybe that means adding spinach to your breakfast. Maybe it means walking around the block after dinner. Maybe it means finally believing that your best years are still ahead. Whatever it is, do it. Because small steps become big victories. And when you start feeling stronger, when your body starts responding, I want you to come back to this video and tell me in the comments how it's going. Share your story. Let's celebrate those wins together. We're not just building muscle here. We're building momentum. We're building a movement of people who refuse to let age define what's possible. So go ahead. Type "ready for action" down below if you're committed to taking that first step this week. Because when you write it, you're not just saying it, you're making a promise to yourself. Thank you for spending this time with me today. It truly means the world to me that you're here, that you care about your health, and that you're willing to learn something new even now. That right there, that curiosity, that spark, that's the real sign of youth, not the number on your driver's license. You have more control over your health than you realize. Your story isn't finished, and I'll be right here, every week, helping you write the next chapter, stronger, sharper, and full of life. Until then, take care of yourself, my friend. Eat well, move often, and never forget, you are stronger than you think. I'll see you in the next one.